take Egypt as an example. You see this green thing from space where the Nile is. You think, oh, I didn't know there's forest. There isn't. That is all farmland. They basically turned this entire area all into farmland. And I think you can do the same thing in the form of grasslands, perhaps even, and that for cows, because that would be the best way for them to live. Now, for mass farming, mass farming is often confused with something where you basically just try to somehow put everything into the smallest space as possible, where you just basically cage up these animals, you put them there, and then you feed them all kinds of stuff, and they get diseases, and you have to, of course, feed them medication such that they can, rid these animals of said diseases so they can live just long enough for them to then be butchered, right? So the problem of mass, like land mass itself, I don't think that's an argument that needs to be considered at all. Perhaps needs to be considered when it comes to developing the land. I mean, look at the US, for instance. That this is a place that has an insanely large population, yet a lot of the land mass is not used. I mean, this becomes increasingly evident whenever you consider that, like I say, so imagine you have the election, right? And you have certain states that are being, tallied. They have like different values assigned to them based on the mass of the population. You actually see that a lot of states don't have that much of a population, even though they have huge mass. Like there's a lot of areas, a lot of land mass is not being exploited, and there are various many reasons for that. Sometimes mountains, they cause a bit of a rain shadow. That's an issue which has been a barrier for agriculture. But realistically speaking, there's a lot of land, and in general, most of the land on Earth is not in fact used. Even in places where civilization has expanded greatly, there's still a lot of places which remain untouched. And some places I think should remain untouched, of course, because there are, things such as water sources there that need to be, kept pristine. But realistically, I think some areas can definitely and should be exploited to scale farming. Farming just for vegetables, of course, as well, but also farmland in the sense that you can create greenery for livestock.
I absolutely agree with you, which means we're just being led to the conclusion that we don't just need a Department of Government Efficiency, we need basically a subsection of Department of Agricultural Efficiency as well. Or we can maybe just put all the cows on Mars, and then we do the farming on Mars, and then we deliver the products back to Earth.
Exactly. That could also be, but for the moment, I think scaling here is actually not as bad. Scaling is not as bad as people think. And I think largely these fears come through people that themselves have no understanding as to how the world actually works, and that they haven't really done much exploring. They've lived their lives in a concrete jungle and then vote on policies with that in mind. If you yourself have lived in a city for all of your life, you will assume that the rest of the planet is probably as overpopulated as the city in which you live. And that is a very accurate assessment for you, because that's what your reality looks like. But have you ever considered how it is possible that you have wildlife documentaries and there are places where basically access is so difficult that tourism is not even possible? That would kind of indicate that the reach of humans in terms of infrastructure is not as extensive as people would think. And if that is in fact true, then maybe we aren't as impactful on the planet by area of control as people would imagine, right? So it's kind of a funny thing. It usually comes from the environmentalists. And I've always read this, even I grew up with reading various types of materials. At first, it would be more what I'd like to call legacy-based, but just somewhat more modernized education, which of course then I discarded all of it, because at that point I finally then discovered older books which were much, much more helpful and actually contained a lot more accurate information. A lot of modern knowledge when it comes to geography is complete bullshit. You have to basically take stuff that is either early 2000s or late 60s-ish. Yeah, anything within that range is relatively accurate. Not all of it, but relatively accurate. Something before that is just besides the argument. But how best to explain this? The argumentation that we take apart rainforests to create farming is only true in that some of it is legally logged, but even the logging of that doesn't impact the world as much as people would think either. And so I think that's what gives farming a bad name. Like, for instance, I don't think the world needs palm oil. Nobody needs that bullshit. This is a very terrible substance for the body to consume, and yet it is being farmed in rainforests and in places where massive illegal logging has taken place at some point, right? This also gives wood a bad name. So you have like these organizations such as FSC that then certify timber, and then people trust in the certification, even though the certification itself and the practices that they have, I would even be very critical of as well. And I have personal experience that would back that up. And that, say, for instance, they have these standards where if you do logging, technically what you should do is say, so imagine you have a farm. Farm as in, not a farm, you have a plantation, a tree plantation. And you planted, say, something more useful like mahogany. If you wanted to log that, you have to log it individually and selectively. And that you can basically log the trees. What they want you to do is basically log it in areas. So everything in an area, like a square, would be just flattened. That's suicide. You're destroying an ecosystem that has been created over, like, say, 10 or 15 years, or however long that those trees took to grow. So you're then saying, oh, hey, this area, we're going to just flatten it. That's horrible. That is a remarkably uneducated approach to the concept as to how nature works. That's not how it works. You have to individually take a few trees out of there, take them out, replant them, and once those replanted trees are adult, you take out the ones that you left behind, and then repeat the cycle ad infinitum. It actually works, and you'd have better construction materials because people think, oh, you don't really need wood. Yeah, you do. Lots of your houses are actually made out of that stuff. Like, what do you think like in America, for instance, a lot of houses, what do you think the basic structure is made out of? It's made out of wood, specifically pine, which is a horrible, horrible type of wood. It is very soft, which is great if you wanted to shape it or if you wanted to nail things into it. It's very easy, but that's what also makes the house cave in. Now, of course, people would say, oh, you need to be soft so it's flexible. That is actually true. However, the mahogany itself, for instance, is very similar in that. It's actually a bit more stable, which is great. So it doesn't fuck up as much as pine does in the same way that pine usually does, right? It also has more natural resistances, so you don't need to treat it with all these chemicals that then leach out into the ground, poisoning the area. And people say that's not true, and I'm like, my dude, you have not seen the factories, have you? I've actually been there. I've actually seen what this is like. I know what the treatment process is. I know what they inundate the timber with so that the insects don't attack it. And I know that the stuff that the timber is being inundated with comes out of the timber and then kills what's around it. Not as much as people would think, but it definitely has an impact. And there's no way you can deny that. So to cut the whole thing short, I can't just explain the whole thing. A lot of the perception around how agriculture works and how nature works in general, I think, is very, very flawed. Very flawed. And areas like one of those, there's a lot of land on this planet that can be developed and should be developed. And I think there's fears that people have put into their minds that land should not be developed is completely wrong. It depends on how you develop it, of course. You probably shouldn't have a power plant somewhere and then that uses water to cool one of its systems, and then that water itself, something leaches into it that's just put back into the river, and now it's polluting everything. That is a problem. I think we can all agree on that being a problem. But that's the exception, it's not the rule. That's an exception. That doesn't often happen, and if it does happen, it should stop, obviously. We have means by which we can stop that from happening, not by, say, destroying a thing we're not destroying the thing, but better managing the pollution that could come out of it. Right? Look at nuclear power plants. They're a great example of this. They're amazing things. Nuclear power plants are absolutely incredible. People don't understand how good these things are. There's not much wrong with them. Even on a waste perspective, the modern ones practically don't generate any waste that is of any concern. So to say development itself, which is where the landmass argument comes into play, is somehow bad for the planet, I think is completely bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Our Vice Chancellor Robert Habeck in Germany would vehemently disagree with you, though, because you took down all the nuclear power plants in Germany. very smart decision, as he is both basically the hero of anti-climate change agenda. He's from the Green Party, and he's also our federal minister for economic affairs, meaning he messed up in both fields. It's terrible for the economy, and it's terrible for whatever this climate agenda is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what does he know of nuclear power? And also, doesn't he think it's kind of risky to take your energy independence and throw it out of the window? I mean, you're not energy dependent. Who are you going to be dependent on? I mean, they do know where their fuel comes from, right?
I'll tell you what his idea is. He even admitted that currently, like in November, the wind is not very strong in Germany, and that's kind of problematic because that means the windmills aren't as active as they could be with more wind. So his suggestion is just invest more in windmills. We need more windmills. I don't know what the reasoning is exactly, how that's going to produce more wind, but just more investments in windmills will help us generate more energy. Sustainable energy, renewable, because renewable energy is a real term apparently.
Yeah, wind sucks. I fucking hate it. It's such a stupid fucking way to generate energy. It's the worst.
Wind is by far the worst of the renewable energies.
It's expensive as shit, and it causes damage to the environment.
Yeah, it kills
and it's
the
not the birds.
birds.
It's not even the birds that I care about. It's like you basically take this area and you make it unsuitable for people to live in this area because it just drives you insane. The way that the blades move, the sound that it creates, the vibrations even that it creates, literally makes you insane. If you don't believe me, go there.
Also, the actual fucking what do you call it? The hands. What do you call those?
The what?
The blades.
The things. The blades. The blades are not reusable. Once they're fucked, you basically have to dispose of them.
They cost like millions each as well, which is even worse. And there isn't always wind. And if there is more wind than normal, then the whole thing just basically explodes. Have you ever seen one? Have you ever seen a windmill explode before?
Nope.
It's actually kind of funny. I mean, funny is relative. It's a lot of damage, but basically what happens if it reaches a certain point, the physical, the strength of the blades itself, it reaches a tipping point, and it just basically turns into a powder. It just explodes, disintegrates.
Plus, you need backup systems if you're going to use windmills, just in case the wind dies down and stuff like that. So it's using like quite a bit of fossil fuels just for that. Those systems.
Correct.
Without batteries, you pretty much can't just rely on renewable energy for it either, because it's not consistent.
I mean, technically speaking, everything is a battery. If you look at, say, something such as just hydrocarbons themselves, they actually kind of act as a battery. It's just a battery that you can kind of ship somewhere and actually consume, sort of, right? Because it turns into CO2 gas. Yeah.
The only things that kind of make sense to me are water, nuclear, and the solar, and maybe a bit of gas and oil, but just like if you're making that sort of transition, then you would still kind of need it.
Even if you don't consume it for energy, oil is still going to be a major factor. I mean, a lot of the components and technology that we use today has plastics in it, and that comes from oil. Like, to descale and to say we don't need oil at all is completely false. That is also not really a mission that should be pursued, which is also kind of ironic because you have these weird morons that are called the Stop Oil movement that just basically stand around in a bunch of clothes that are made out of plastics and such. I'm like, if you wanted to stop oil, why don't you stop yourself?
Just stop oil. Let's fucking paint the Stonehenge like that's going to do anything.
Yeah, let's go slow down traffic and make the people in the cars wait somewhere in traffic so that they consume more of the oil that we're trying to stop.
I will say, though, ever since that guy in Panama shot one, it has slowed down quite a bit.
Well, of course, because they're fucking pussies. They're cowards. The slightest show of a threat, especially a threat like that, and they will just quiver and fold. These are people that are extremely unproductive in society, so they're looking for meaning in some way, yet they are not capable of attaining meaning in the way that many of us can attain and should attain. So they said, hey, we're going to disrupt the economy. We're going to disrupt this. We're actually going to think that this is something good that we're doing, even though it's not, and then just keep running with that. And then, of course, you provide the slightest amount of pressure, and instantly the whole thing crumbles. What a fucking joke.
Yeah, we need a counter group like just stop oil.
And then they're like,
That's
lead these
the problem,
events.
though. With most of these woke liberals, they just can't find a purpose in life, and they are desperately looking for some kind of orientation because they don't have any other problems. So they need to change their agenda and then come out as some unicorn, because then they get validation from their own group. But they will never actually find the satisfaction that they are truly desiring. So it's like a quick fix, instant gratification kind of drug. But it just, it manifests their mental illness, and it just accelerates the progress of this mental illness, which just turns them into weak victims who don't have a chance in the long term against us, which sounds like a threat, but I don't mean it as a threat. I mean it more as like they are the ones who are allegedly pushing progress, but they're doing exactly the opposite. The entire woke movement is just based on the inversion of truth, and they are enforcing regression on the world because they see humans as parasites. It's an extinctionist movement, and the only way that we can achieve true progress is by humans being innovative. So yeah, stop getting in the way of people like Elon Musk.
Exactly.
I mean, the funniest outcome, well, not really funny, but it's kind of hilarious in hindsight if you were to really think about it, is you have these climate movements, right? And you have activists that get together and then say, hey, you know this place where products are being produced that accelerate the transition to sustainable energy? Yeah. You know the big thing there, the big building? Yeah, the thing that's a gigafactory? Yeah, let's go there and burn it. Let's go burn the power supply. I mean, that is a remarkable display of stupidity. Like, wow.
You see that? Let's shut down the fucking nuclear power plants. Let's not build anymore.
Meanwhile, all of the energy now runs off of coal or gas from Russia.
Or what you see in California now, right? Where despite the fact that Tesla is the only company that produces cars in California, they decided they're gonna exclude Tesla from our fucking EV credit.
Yeah, I saw that. So
Let's give it to fucking companies that produce it in Mexico and other states instead.
Oh yeah, just because they're all unionized, right? Because they want to favor the unions, which basically do very little for you. In hindsight, like, unions do work in some areas, but I think largely the purpose of a union has somewhat vanished. If they say, for instance, is a problem in a particular place, and there's an exploitation of workers, and you get to prove that somehow. Now there's legal process that you can explore. I mean, hey, if you have something and it's not illegal, it doesn't, put you in the shit. If you did this and you have a problem with an employer actually exploiting people, you can actually post about it on social media. Here on X, for instance, you won't get censored, and that would actually allow people to see, oh, hey, this person over here, they don't pay for overtime, and they're exploiting everybody over there, and oh, here, this guy over there is trying to sexually assault these people, oh, fuck, post about it, right?
The unions have completely destroyed U.S. Steel, and they've completely destroyed the fucking ports in the U.S. If you look at U.S. Steel, it's like years behind all the other competition.
They're fancy extortionists, that's what I like to call them. They're fancy extortionists, and I'll tell you that thing how. Hey, the business that's dying, you're not making enough money. You have to still pay us more money, though, because we live in an age where we still need money. And of course, hey, because we're not producing enough products, because nobody wants our shit anymore, we have to actually lower the salaries for people or let people go. Nope, that's not happening. We need to get everything to go back up again. We need to make sure that this company goes broke and gets bailed out by our very own taxes. Everything's fine, everything's good, right? That's what the unions do. And here's how it works, right? Imagine, for instance, you are trying to produce a product. Let's imagine a legacy car manufacturer, right? Many of the components that make up a car that a lot of people drive are made in other places, often by other companies, not by the company itself. They kind of have alliances, and you have one company that makes parts for many other car companies at the same time. You'll find Fiat parts inside of Ferrari sometimes, even, especially old ones. It's just kind of funny. Nobody really thinks about it.
Wow.
Like, you have the car companies, they intermingle a lot. It's almost like they have this interesting web, and the suppliers are very, it's very difficult to explain. But anyways, so let's imagine you have a union, right? Let's imagine the union protests because we don't get enough money. And the reason why they don't get enough money is because nobody's buying these products anymore. Let's say, for instance, the sale of cars goes down, then that means less cars are being made because you can't make more, because if you have inventory that you're not selling, you're getting fucked. Now, as a result of this, less stuff is being bought from the supplier who supplies the parts. Now, the supplier has themselves an economic crisis. They need to start laying people off. Now the unions step in and say, no, we're not doing that. Cause a strike, which then causes people to not manufacture these parts anymore. And then the cars that are supposed to be built can't be built because these parts are not there, because they're not being manufactured, because somebody has a strike. Meanwhile, ununionized companies like Tesla keep producing. So while your legacy shuts down, doesn't do anything, either because they themselves are under the subject of a strike or some of their suppliers are under the subject of a strike, Tesla keeps producing. And the unionists can't stand that because they can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about Tesla. That's why they keep ostracizing Tesla as much as possible. That's why when there was an EV summit, they excluded Tesla, who's the leader for EV manufacturing in this world, basically. They excluded this manufacturer, the manufacturer that basically sets the trend for EVs going forward and accelerated the production. They excluded them, but they did include GM. And then you had fucking Biden standing there, Mary Barra, I think was her name, saying that she leads the revolution. It's like, yeah, we did it, Mary! You did it! I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Remember there was a time when they didn't even mention the word Tesla for years?
Yeah, and they kept trying to find ways of excluding Tesla from the EV tax credit.
Kind of funny.
Basically, unionization is basically a wrapper for going bankrupt very slowly.
Yeah. Plus, it can protect underperforming workers from being dismissed when they actually should be. So that would be more productivity. Yeah.
Unionization is basically the government getting involved in private companies.
Which is ironic, because if you look at a lot of the legacy car manufacturers, they've gone bankrupt multiple times. They had to bail them out. And what money is being used to bail them out? It's a long, hard fucking guess. Where is that money coming from? All of you guys, all of y'all, the hard-working people of whichever country this manufacturer is in, your taxes, everyone's taxes.
I once actually watched someone make an argument, and they figured out a bunch of the math, and they actually said that it would actually be cheaper to produce everything in the United States than it would be to China if the government just took the money that it gives in poverty assistance and just gave it to the companies instead. Private company. It would literally cost taxpayers less money, and it would make everything made in the U.S. instead of China. But he said that it would never politically work, because imagine telling people, I'm going to give all this money to these fucking companies instead of giving it to the people directly.
Exactly. And also kind of
stupidity.
Yeah,
Because of the stupidity of the general public, you basically have to make worse political decisions. Because the general public is too stupid to see the long-term consequences of it.
you can thank legacy media for that because you have the largest megaphone that has ever been created. If you choose to disseminate bullshit via that megaphone, then bullshit shall be in these people's heads. So ironically enough, it's not even necessarily their fault that they're full of shit, because the shit that's there is not of their own making. However, you could say, hey, you should be critical and question a lot of things. But I mean, do you seriously think that the average 9-to-5 worker is going to want to question anything? They're happy to be home at the end of the day. They're happy to do something and actually use whatever little time they still have left in the day for something that makes them happy so that they don't go insane. So you can't even fucking put that on them. So it's a bit of like whoever is disseminating these lies, there's a lot of shit that's coming because that's fucked up. That is really fucked up. You can choose to educate the public, not deceive them. And educate them in a way that is productive, not destructive. Because you can say education in general, you can put it under an umbrella. You can have education for the sake of amplifying a person's abilities or stifling their abilities. And you can say, oh, you have reasons behind that, and you have ethical concerns. There are literally people out there who say, oh, we should actually keep a population at a certain level of dumbness so that they're easier to control because they're not able to use their sentience for anything productive unless we do that. This is an actual ethical motivation. So to many of the people that would be disseminating bullshit, they see themselves as doing good, as a matter of fact. And from their perspective, you can actually agree with them. Not everybody is capable of listening to the truth. And I think actually the majority of all humans on this planet, I don't think they can actually take truth. I mean, let's take an example. You ever heard of parents that didn't flip out at the fact that somebody told them the truth? How many times did you even get angry? How many times have any one of us gotten angry at a truth? Only to then, kind of hold yourself back and say, you know what, actually, this person's making a point. So imagine there's actually an ethical motivation that makes sense to keep people somewhat stifled. I'm not saying that I would do this. I'm kind of in the favor of a little bit more chaos and, managing a world in which truth actually proliferates beyond even, I feel as though if there's enough pressure of truth, you're more so forced to accept the truth as opposed to denying it, because people would look at you and be like, why are you angry about this? This is the truth. What the fuck's wrong with you? Right? So it would be enforced this way. I think at some point there was just a loss, as in you kind of lost the path towards that, towards a future of enlightenment. But I think we're kind of back on that path at some point because people are angry. And anger is a great motivator. You have fear, anger, and happiness. With those three things, you can control everything that a human does. I mean, absolutely fucking everything. There's nothing that you can't make a mind do. It's a limitation. There's absolutely none. If you don't believe me, just look around you. Meanwhile, I'm gonna cook some steak. Let's go.
Nice. I saw a really funny post today.
What's that?
It's the one I sent you about Russia.
Hold up, let me see.
Remember I sent that to you? Did you read that?
Which one? You sent me a lot of stuff.
Alright, let me send it to you again.
Oh, that's, yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we even had a discussion about this on Spaces where we're basically saying, what are the sanctions actually do? When we were talking about, I think didn't Trump say something about taking the sanctions and putting them on Ukraine if they didn't obey? Wasn't it something like that?
No.
Who said that?
No, I said that. Yeah.
Oh, you said that to me. Sorry.
I said, and because Zelensky
Right.
was basically saying that we're an independent country, so we're not going to listen to Trump. And I said, in that case, Trump could do something. Like, tell Zelensky, if you do that, we're going to remove all the sanctions on Russia and we're going to place it on Ukraine, and we're not going to give you any more support. And I said that would make them come to the negotiating table real quick.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else. We got the FCC has granted Starlink a U.S. commercial license to provide coverage from space. So that's pretty good. Like, could enhance all forms of wireless broadband access for those areas, rural areas and stuff like that. It also would be good because it allows them to partner with mobile networks to eliminate dead zones. So there's a lot of positive things there. It could enhance emergency services as well. So overall, really good stuff.
PoE 2 early access release is coming.
Oh, early access.
I'm
9 days.
I'm gonna wait to see.
Don't worry, I will show you because I bought the early access. I just don't know how to fucking use it. I have like the early access keys. I have no idea what it is. I just bought it and I have it now. So I guess yeah.
All right. Do you want me to help you figure it out?
I suppose. I mean, it just says that the keys are there, and then that's that. So there's no place where I can actually put them in somewhere and then get access. So I suppose I'd have to still wait.
There probably is. There probably is.
All right, we'll look at it later.
Where did you buy it, on the website?
Yeah, I bought it directly from PoE 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have to do that then.
Because the major packs, they're only available on the website. On Steam, you only get like 3 packs.
Okay. We're just gonna use a separate launcher then instead of doing it on Steam.
Not entirely. You could get the launcher, I suppose, but you also do it.
What's the game called again?
Path of Exile.
Oh yeah, Path of Exile.
Path of Exile 2.
I'm looking at the platforms here. It says Steam, Epic Games, PS5, Xbox Series X. So I guess there is no standalone launcher this time. Well, I thought there would be, but
early access. Yeah, get access now.
Guess we'll just do
Should
Steam
I make an
then,
account?
Yeah, if you have Steam, just log in via Steam. That creates an account.
Oh, okay.
Have I added you on Steam yet? Yeah.
Really? No, I don't.
Should then.
Alright, send me your Steam user, or send me the Steam numbers.
I'll have to get on my computer for that one.
The friend code, what the fuck it is.
Friend code, whatever it is, that's fine. I can't wait for that to come out in a couple days. I'll play it live so people can see what it's like, so that they don't have to buy the early access.
Yeah.
When does the full?
It's gonna be confusing at first, but
Yeah. When does the full game release?
I don't know if they have made an official launch day for it.
Yeah.
Probably just gonna take some feedback from the early access stuff.
I saw some of the boss fights; they're incredible.
Yeah, that's one thing that Path of Exile did right compared to Diablo 4. The boss fights are much more interesting. There's better mechanics, less stupid bullshit like the vulnerability stuff, and it's just overall more fun.
How do I add people in this one?
Give me your friend code, or whatever the fuck it is. Friends. Add friend. Do I have you on Steam, Blaze?
I don't think so, but if you DM me your code or something, I can add you.
Alright.
The DM it to you on Discord. That's cool. There's a lot of repeating numbers.
I sent you an invite.
You made a record.
You're only at level 3. You're only at
I
level
don't know how any of that works.
I am at level
How?
20.
How do you level up on Steam?
I don't know. I just have 644.
Yeah, that explains it. Yeah, I'm not a very. I don't have that many games. Let me actually take a look at my games.
I haven't played 99% of it. Whenever a Steam summer sale happens, my brain just goes monkey mode, and it's like buy.
Yeah, in total, I have 26 games. I'm a simple person. I don't like spreading my shit out. And the only other 22 games that I have are all source games. They're like there was a pack where you could buy every fucking source game for just a little bit of money. I was like, dude, I'm fucking taking that. So I have every single version of Half-Life, every single version of Counter-Strike, TF2, fucking Portal, everything. I got the whole fucking thing.
Nice, dude.
I would not be surprised. If that's also me.
I have like 61.
Yeah, you might have that. So yeah, I got all source games.
I probably do too. Anything on GOG right now? New releases, let's say. No. Nothing interesting right now.
Makes sense.
If a game is available on GOG, I buy it there first. If not, then I buy it on Steam.
Is the no DRM thing?
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be.
I think
the
one
expansion, isn't it? The expansion. Yeah.
I think one day I sat down and I put my Steam account in a calculator for how much your Steam account was worth, and with the games on it, it was worth $10,000 or something.
Holy crap. Monkey.
Oh, you said you spent $10,000 on Steam games?
No. I said my account was worth $10,000.
Okay, how does that work?
Steam summer sales.
Oh, so you got some games that were worth $800 for $40.
I don't think there's any games worth for $800.
That'd be funny.
But yes, I do have $6 billion on GTA, which I picked up.
So did I. Some hacker dropped it on the ground. And I'm like, hey,
yeah. Some hacker dropped it on the ground, and I just picked it up. So I have $6 billion.
It's hilarious.
When you look at my Rockstar profile, it's total amount earned. It's $100,000. Total amount spent, it's $68.7 million. And then someone told me the IRS might need to look at that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I put mine all in apartments and garages.
How did you do that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide this.
Yeah, I got and they still haven't banned me, which is amazing.
Same.
I got $6 billion. I got houses. I got cars. I got a shit ton of things on GTA Online.
How much stuff can you actually buy in that game?
So much.
Not much
crazy.
anymore. Not much
Well,
anymore.
yeah, you can buy tons of different apartments, tons of different cars. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, but they've had hyperinflation.
Oh, that's it.
Because It used to be that $1 million could get you a shit ton in the game. Now $1 million won't get you shit.
That's funny. Parallels with reality.
Yeah.
This isn't.
Last time I played GTA was, I think, on PS4. Has it evolved a whole lot since then?
Yeah. I think it was
I don't know.
first launched. Was it launched on PS4 or PS3? I think it was launched on PS3. It's such a long time
PS3.
ago. Yeah.
PS3. Yeah, it was first launched on PS3.
Can't believe it could actually run on that old system. But yeah, the engine's pretty versatile.
One thing I don't like about these types of games is there's not much you can automate within them. You know what I mean? Like there's some games that I've played where basically you'd have NPCs that you could command to do certain things, and then they would operate and do their thing passively for you. So you're actually kind of in control of it, but you're just the person that sets it in the process. Like imagine, for instance, you hire a taxi driver and you say, okay, I'm going to buy fucking 15 cars. Y'all gonna just integrate yourselves there, picking people up. No one's gonna stop you. And if somebody does, I'm gonna blow them up. You know, something like that in GTA would be very nice.
Have you ever played Cookie Clicker?
No.
You haven't?
No, I have no idea what the fuck that is.
You don't know what Cookie Clicker is?
Nope.
Lies, you must know what Cookie
I've
Clicker
heard of
is.
it. I just never played it.
Oh my god. Elliot, do you know what Cookie Clicker is?
Yeah, I've hacked that game every time I played it.
Yes, exactly.
What is the point of it?
Basically,
you go game.cookies equals 1, and then you put 100 zeros at the end and you win.
Yeah. Anyway, Cookie Clicker was this game that was really popular when I was growing up. Basically, you would click and you would get a cookie, and then you would click again, and then you would get another cookie, and then you would just click, and then once you got enough cookies, you could buy like a cookie farm, and then you could just buy like a grandma to cook more cookies for you, and it was just, you would constantly have numbers go up.
And eventually you could have
Numbers
cookie
go up
prism,
again.
which just like makes a beam of cookies at the speed of light, and you get all these like crazy farms and shit, and eventually it just like it's like unworldly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did something like that in a game once, except that it's like more realistic in that you had like a bunch of spaceships and such that you could basically command to do certain stuff. And the way I started was actually the fighter, so that I could just beat a bunch of pirates and salvage their scraps so I can keep repairing shit, because I needed that so I can keep salvaging ships that were abandoned. Because you can kind of tow ships by not towing them. Like I figured out in the game that you could kind of push ships around. So I'd take my fighter and just ram into it and just push it for kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, until eventually, I reached a certain destination next to like a space station, so I could go in and repair the ship itself, because I can't just go in and do that in dead space. It's not going to work. So I actually did that with hundreds and hundreds of ships, and then I set them, like depending on the ship that it was, I would set them to do various things. I would sometimes sell them for like other ships, and what I would do is that actually I created a mining command center. I couldn't buy it, like I didn't want to pay any money on the game, so I couldn't buy any capital stations, because if I did, I would have actually bought those capital stations and just built endlessly a lot more stuff. So I just decided, okay, so I can't make capitals. So what if I just became the economy that makes a capital a capital? So I basically exceeded the mass of the known universe of things in that game. I basically became the control. It was bad, to the point that my phone started lagging. That's how much shit I did. And I would constantly see numbers go up, because every single time I'd see a ship somewhere, I would just basically buy a new ship and send it out there. You'd have courier services, delivery services, mining services, defense, all kinds of weird shit. And so I'd put so much that I could see the numbers just go up like constant. It was so funny.
Oh wow.
As a matter of fact, I got so bored that I kept destroying all the pirates, because you didn't have pirates in the game, right? They would constantly set up stations. And so I got really bored one day, and I said, okay, so we have control of the economy. Let's go destroy the pirates. Like, completely eliminate them. Like, purify the game of all pirates. There would be no piracy in the entire game. So I just roam around, and what you can do is actually you can go into a ship, you can teleport it to a ship, take command of it, right? And you can set that ship to defend another ship. So what I would do is I would run around in like a super speedy fighter, have a bunch of massive ships set to defend that little fighter, and then I'd just roam around with a small personal fleet destroying bases for no reason. It's just pirates. It's red and it's enemy, so I monkey go boo boo ooh, go break. So I did that. I keep getting the salvage, and I would pick up so much fucking salvage that you couldn't take it with you anymore. So I said, why am I even doing this? I'm just going to abandon it there. And wherever I kill like an enemy base, I would put some turrets. It's like, not even, like, wherever there's a base, I put turrets so that if there's an attack, it will always defend. So I constantly bought the most advanced turrets and I put them around every single infrastructure in the game. So no infrastructure in that game had any problems because there would just not be a place where you could get attacked. Even in portals as well. So there's like different shit, like wormholes in places. And what you could do is sometimes pirates come to those wormholes and start shit. So I said, I'm going to surround the wormhole with a lot of guns. Like a lot of guns. So I basically created a small circle of guns around the wormhole. I placed them such that none of the trade routes would be affected because you'd have to like travel through it and I don't want to fuck with the NPCs. So I just basically built a small circle of weapons around every single wormhole in the game. So so the bases, every infrastructure that existed was defended. Every wormhole was defended from both sides. So you couldn't even get in the wormhole if you're an enemy. And you couldn't even if you got in somehow, if you got out the other end, you'd also die. There was zero chance that anyone could travel anywhere if they were my enemy. It was actually funny because one day there was a glitch in the game. And somehow one of my turrets was defending against a singular pirate ship. And one of my turrets accidentally shot the capital of one of my allies. And then a war broke out, which was very bad because the moment anything is marked as an enemy, my turret starts shooting on it. So you can imagine this is like an Order 66 thing, where basically every base now turned to be my enemy, and every single turret around every single base started shooting everything. It was so fucking bad. I had to spend trillions to undo that because every single time the enemy, like every single time there was an enemy stage for one of the bases, I had to pay them off and be like, okay, just negotiate a truce so you can become an ally again. So we did it. Then the thing attacked again. I'm like, fuck, did it again. So I kept spam paying until I racked up like trillions, and then nobody attacked each other anymore. And I was like, we seifu for now.
Seifu.
Funds or seifu?
I had so much cash in that game, I didn't even know what that number was. Like I looked at it and I was like, I don't know what that is, I just know it's a lot.
I just know funds or seifu.
Yes.
Do you know that meme?
Yes, I do.
Funds or
Seifu.
seifu.
Yeah.
It's because it's my hands.
Which supporter pack did you get, Adrian? Just the $30 one, or did you get the more expensive one?
I got the most expensive one.
Oh my god, okay. It's so expensive.
Bro,
I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna look like Space Jesus. That's gonna happen.
did you pay $100
Like
for that?
$480.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Look. In my defense, Freckles spends that on a haircut. Okay?
It's true.
Okay.
I spend that on looking like Space Jesus in an RPG video game. And it's my advertising revenue. So that's not advertising revenue, it's my X revenue. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. You probably spent that much on Diablo. Probably more than that on Diablo. Probably like 1,000.
Yeah, a lot.
How do you spend spend $1,000 on Diablo. I've spent like $150.
Skins, bro. Oh, again, like I said, there's an obsession with me and wanting to look like the most absurd thing. Like, you look at my character, right? It looks really absurd.
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I deleted the game.
It's got a lot of glowy shit that comes out of it, you know, and I like it. I like it. Look, and besides, it's kind of funny that Blythe mentioned it a while back because, you know, Path of Exile, you have like a lot of microtransactions. You can look like whatever you want. I am not satisfied. I'm not satisfied in a video game until I look like a fucking lens flare.
Yep.
Okay?
The right game.
I am walking around and I'm going to be brighter than the sun in the fucking sky. Then I'm happy. The enemy's eyes will bleed before they even attack me.
You should post that.
I might get the $100 one.
I mean, dude, I look like one of those soldiers from the Imperium in Warhammer 40k with the 400. It looks kind of good. That's why I said, fuck it. That's going to be a great game. And look, these guys, I already have a good feeling about it, right? That's one thing.
You said that to me about fucking.
Yes, I had a good feeling about it, and my feeling paid off in that basically it was a good purchase for the fact that it could do trillions of damage.
I
completed the game. I did the speed run. I did the whole fucking thing. I'm doing more damage now than 0.0001% of the game's population. I'm happy.
So you're telling me that you spent $1,000 on a skin that's a region of pixels on your screen, the 255s? The
People buy
RGB, the 255s?
People buy NFTs thinking that shit's real and thinking that they're gonna get generational wealth. I buy something because I think, hey, it looks cool. Maybe you'll actually make more of that shit in the future. And in the case of Path of Exile, even, I would feel even better about that purchase. You know why? Because that game studio actually looks really, really, really competent. Did you see the gameplay that they did with one of the bosses there? I think one of the employees, it must have been, actually played the game, and that shit looked really good. So I'm like, you're putting a lot of work in the game. It looks really good. These people are in New Zealand, of course, which makes me like them even more for some reason. I like people who come from there. They're really so fuck off. But realistically, that's some really cool people there. I mean, hey, Mark, the guy from 2188 who introduced us to Max, they're fucking really interesting people. They all live in these really cool places. A lot of good stuff comes out of there. And I've had really good experiences with all those people, so I really like them. So it's like, hey, man, you know, this gaming company comes from there. You know, you guys play the game that you make, and fuck it, here's some funding.
Nice.
And if I am disappointed, I will complain about it at length on my live streams, which is also entertaining. So the way I see it, win-win. People are entertained by the fact that I'm destroying shit and laughing my ass off like a monkey. This is great. And people find it's funny when I come up with these weird ways of roasting a game that I bought. So either way, I win. Gets content, it's fun, it's great. It's as it should be. Also, didn't I tell you that I was gonna beat the game?
Oh yeah.
Which one?
So we did it. No, Diablo, we finished it. It's finished.
You beat the game. What does beat the
Okay,
game?
300. Yeah.
We got the level 300 Paragon. We did all kinds of weird shit that is otherwise
150
impossible to achieve. Yeah,
Yeah, 150 bit completion. Yeah.
yeah, we got it. We got the best achievements in the entire game.
Indeed.
Damn.
Oh, you get multiple early access keys with that $480 bundle. I think you get like 4 early access keys. So you can give a couple out, maybe.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right.
I think I'm gonna get the Vol supporter one, 3rd one, or the 4th one.
I mean, it looks anything bad from them, so
Yep.
and the people who've played it,
Yeah, I played a lot of that game, so, and Mikey has too. He can vouch as well. It's great.
You are talking about Path of Exile too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I only see a $30 one, a $60 one, and a $100 one. Where are you seeing like a $40?
That's on Steam. If you go and you log
Yeah,
into
that's
the
only
actual
on Steam.
website, yeah, you can see all of them.
Oh, on their page. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, 160, 240, and then 480 is the most expensive one.
Crazy.
You get physical items in the mail too if you order some of them. I think like a T-shirt or a book or a hoodie or something.
Yes, a relatively obscure Dutch company.
Oh yeah. Whenever I hear someone, like whenever someone says, "Did you guys know about the?" Yes, I knew. Yes. Like, like my mind's just like, is this not public knowledge?
It's not. Let me tell you something. Let me ask.
Like I saw this woman be like, "Did you guys know there's like fiber optic cables in the fucking ocean?" I'm like, "Yes."
Wait, what?
It's fucking public knowledge. And then they're like, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you."
Oh, it's so funny. Dude, the flat earthers are losing their minds over that. So it's funny as fucking shit. They say, if we have satellites in space, then why do we have transmission towers? Well, because we do have satellites in space. They're just not as good for internet, but they are now, which is why we're using Starlink. It is just that you have because we have so much data floating around the Earth, we need to somehow transfer it. So what we do is we have these gigantic cables that are under the sea, much like the pineapple from SpongeBob. And and this is connected to a tower somewhere. It gets retransmitted into your cities, which allows you to actually hear this very fucking conversation, most likely, because the majority of people in here are definitely not on Starlink. So that is how that works. We do have satellites, otherwise we'd not be able to see the fucking Earth now, would we? Right? So a lot of the flat earthers don't fucking understand that concept.
Not to mention, there's like a limited bandwidth of wavelength.
Exactly. That's another problem. And it's there's also range issues as well, which even if you did get, like, yeah. It's a very complex discussion to be had. We can have that discussion at some point in the future. Actually, I'll do a little research so people understand how exactly all of that works. But to put it simple, it's wild. However, I have to say, let's imagine for a second, like, this is not public knowledge because the public would not care, one, and even if they did, they'd fucking freak out. You know why?
Why would they freak out?
Imagine the NPC well and truly actually understood how crazy this is. That one company manufactures the most expensive machine that's used for non-military purposes. There's only one fucking company that makes a machine. And that machine,
to be fair,
works.
That company is the only company on Earth because they've been given the monopoly by the US.
Doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything about this argument. Let's imagine every NPC woke up the next day and figured out, yes, there is only one company on Earth that makes this one fucking machine. And this one fucking machine is the only machine that can make this one special type of chip that is needed for everything that is computers. Anything that's good computers, anyways. And that is manufactured in only one place on the planet. And it's in fucking Taiwan. Let's imagine every NPC woke up and understood this, and understood exactly how fucking insane that is. All of a sudden, everyone would be scared shitless. You should be. So next time when you fucking beef with some people, you want to warmonger and stretch your military forces, then think about it. People don't understand the importance of that place. Be like, oh yeah, Taiwan, we gotta keep those people free. It's not about the fucking people, it's about the chips, man. The majority doesn't care about that. Sure, the people is an argument, and I'm not discounting the people, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to explain to you where exactly the relevance is. The relevance is in those chips. Hell, even the fucking phones you're using right now, like some of these super advanced iPhones would be like, oh yeah, this is a great American product. Well, guess what? That fucking 3 nanometer chip that they brag about is manufactured by fucking Taiwan. And the only reason why it works so well
Even-
is manufacturing.
Even Intel right now manufactures their chips with TSMC. Even though they actually got downgraded by the U.S. government, so they're gonna stop. They're not gonna give them as much money anymore.
So Intel is really fucked.
Intel's process failed. So they haven't managed to meet the deadlines that the U.S. government set for them. They haven't managed to meet any of the deadlines that the private companies that need to use the chips have set for them. They haven't managed to meet any deadline. So the U.S. government basically cut the money that they were going to give them in half. Not half. They cut it by $500 million.
Oh my god!
Which is not much. To be honest. So I think it was like $8.5 billion or something. And they've cut it to $8 billion or $7.9 billion or something like that.
Still bad though.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the point, right? Like, imagine this. Imagine where all of the computer stuff comes from. It's because of this one tiny little fucking place, very far away from the United States and various many other countries that are termed as the West, that literally uphold the West's technological desires. How do you not wake up in the morning and get a cold sweat about that? Because I do. I turn my computer on in the morning and I look at it and I'm like, there's an NVIDIA chip in this. Actually, for me, it's worse because I use a very particular type of laptop that is more or less entirely manufactured in Taiwan. It has a little sticker on it that says made in Taiwan. So every single time I fucking think about it, I think about it. I wake up in the morning, I don't need coffee. I look at the little sticker and I say, holy shit. This hangs my bread.
The Taiwanese do a much better job of manufacturing than anyone else as well. It's like very high quality manufacturing.
You know, when you talk about how manufacturing works there, especially when it comes to like TSMC, it's like, it sounds like aliens.
Yeah.
You can't go there. You can't see it.
But it's not just the chips. It's like anything. They can manufacture pretty much anything that China can manufacture, except much higher quality. The problem you would have, though, is that they can't manufacture things to the same scale. China has their scale going for them. It reminded me of the meme where the guy was like, oh yeah, we turned this sand into a thinking computer. Totally not aliens, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely not aliens. Not even close.
OpenAI is literally just an NVIDIA wrapper. NVIDIA is literally just a TSMC wrapper. TSMC is literally just an ASML wrapper. ASML is literally just a Zeiss wrapper. Zeiss is literally a sand wrapper.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
TSMC, yeah. Oh yeah, spicy.
Did you guys know there's like literally a sand mafia?
What? Go explain that.
Basically, there's different types of sand. So countries like Saudi Arabia import like a ton of sand, despite being entirely covered by sand. Because it turns out the sand that's in Saudi Arabia is pretty useless and it can't really be used in anything. And to make glass and to make concrete and things like that, you need like a specific type of sand. So there's like that specific type of sand is kind of running out because we're using all of it because China was basically using all of it to build a ton of concrete so they could build all those buildings that no one lives in anymore, leading to their property crisis because China literally built more in the 21st century than the entire world did up till the 20th century.
show you something I sent it to you. I'm gonna send it to you via Discord because I'm on the other thing there. But like, check this out.
See what you sent me. Find it. Oh my god.
That is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Dude, look at what it's a reply to, though.
Nice. Let me see.
Oh my god, indeed. I did not think that that was gonna happen.
What is this you're laughing at?
The fuck was that?
That was Elliot, I think.
Wait. Did it work?
What the hell are you doing to yourself?
What was that, dude?
Someone said, I absolutely admire Call Me Out's phonetic capabilities. Bravo.
Bro, what?
I don't know.
I'm very confused as to what that means.
Did Augie text me his phone number?
No, that would be his secret code, I believe. I thought the same thing until I just assumed the context.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, so where's the fucking standalone version of this?
There's supposedly going to be a standalone version. They haven't released the actual launcher yet, but I'm assuming, yeah, when the beta comes out, they'll
Okay,
release the
look at this.
standalone launcher.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god.
You know, the person who's explaining the game with the ExileCon shirt on, that guy looks like a person who'd play this game, which is great. I like that.
Yeah.
Got the
That's just it in Steam.
No way, dude. They added the soundboard to X?
That's been there for a very long time, my friend.
How long has this been here?
Years!
Decades.
How long has it been here? Fucking years, dude.
It's been there since Bernie Sanders met with the dinosaurs.
Let's see. Today's Tuesday, so since forever.
Wow.
Yes.
I still remember I used to do these spaces where I told everybody to use their fucking soundboards at the same time. Oh my god, dude. That was great. Lance, were you there for those days?
I seem to remember this. It was
I'm not going
chaos.
to do that anymore.
And then
It's available to iOS users. Android people don't have that.
I just got an iPhone, so now I have these features too.
My god. I'm thinking of getting an iPhone just for the X usage as well, so I can have like more features in the app because everything gets released on that app first on iOS. So I'm thinking of doing that, but
Wait, do I sound like I just turned a heel?
If you get an iPhone, if you get
You sound like a gay alien.
what the
fuck? Very hard to tell though, because he always sounds like that. Anyway. Yeah, so if you get an iPhone, I highly recommend you get Apple Care.
Why? What is that?
Basically, Apple Care is the service from Apple, where if you have like any Apple product, if you get Apple Care on it, if it gets stolen, if you fucking drop it and it turns into pieces, Apple will like replace it, no questions asked. Very good. I have like fucked up like 5 iPhones. I don't use a case, and I've gotten like every single one replaced.
Bro, I'm just figuring this out
Wow.
now.
You just discovered this.
This is insane. There's so many of them, and you can add them too. Oh my god. Why didn't you tell me about this before?
I assumed everybody would know.
Yeah.
Well, I was on a stupid 5-year-old Android phone. Okay.
But you got an iPhone now?
I'm looking forward to the next year's Google Pixel.
Okay, you're gonna have to stop doing that now.
All right.
It was like, alright, the defeated.
No, I'll keep it in Discord.
Apparently, they're going to use TSMC chips for next year's Google Pixel, so
Might get one.
waiting for that. You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explore my
You get
options.
one? Yeah. You can install Graphene OS on it.
Mm. But people would definitely be roasting that picture.
It's better to buy the supporter pack on the website because Steam takes like a cut. So, I mean, if you want to support the developer solely, then you just buy it on the website.
I want to support Steam as well.
Don't worry, I bought so much stuff via Steam. They've got enough. Trust me.
I know, but they need to spend more money on fucking making Linux support properly.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Alone this year, how much have you spent on video games?
Probably not as much this year.
How much did you? I'm the IRS. Answer my questions. I know the answer, but I also want you to answer.
Probably like $500.
That's what I was going to say, like 500 or something like that.
Huh?
What about last year?
No, 500. Last year, I didn't spend anything at all.
What was your peak?
My peak was when I loaded up $2,000 on Steam. As like what do you call it? $2,000 in Steam. You know how you can add to your Steam balance?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and I spent like all of that.
How much do you think you spent cumulatively?
I have no idea.
Probably tell by your Steam points.
I am level.
No, not level. Steam points.
Let me see. How can I check my Steam points?
Go to the store. Where you can buy your items to make your frame 9.
Oh, I've already bought a shit ton of Steam points. But I've been buying shit on Steam since before Steam points were even a thing.
Jesus Christ. How many Steam points do you have?
Whatever I've had, I probably spent it all.
No, did you have any remaining? Should be a lot more remaining.
Let me see. Can I check that? Points dropped down there. 109,000.
Interesting. Okay.
But keep in mind, I've spent a shit ton of it.
What do you even buy with it? Like, what did you buy with those?
I bought Steam Startup Movies for my Steam Deck. I bought the so go on my profile. If you go on my profile, you'll see there's like a background for it. There's like a frame for it. There's like a moving picture for it.
Let me take a look. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
No.
I have like a ton of those. I have like a ton of each one.
I have to
Yeah, I have like
actually sign into my computer if I wanted to see that, but yeah.
ton of avatars.
Mm-hmm. You like see my one. What do you think of that? It's pretty nice.
Let me check. View friends list. What the fuck?
What?
Holy shit.
Why? What's up? What's surprising?
2,000 hours.
Yeah, he played a lot.
And that's not even your top one. Your top one is Star Trek Online.
Yeah, read that one out for me, though.
3,685.
I told you I'm good at that shit.
Damn.
Right, let me right.
That's a lot of jellyfish starship.
That's a lot of jellyfish, yes. I didn't even fucking AFK that game. I actually legitimately played it that long.
Like straight.
All right, let me check one of my friends.
I also play like a bunch of Halo and shit, so yeah, there's probably a couple hours on that as well.
Why is this dude hiding how many hours he's played the game?
Either he's played too much or not enough.
I think it's probably closer to too much.
I would flex that shit.
He has 3,600 items just in Team Fortress.
Jesus Christ. Is he like a streamer or something?
No.
Wild.
Favorite game, 8,500 hours. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, by the way, I'd highly recommend probably exiting crypto while you can.
After Jim Cramer gave his recommendation.
Yeah. It completely just escaped my mind, but remember when I said gold remember when I said gold is probably the play, and then he says gold can be easily confiscated? It's like, are you guys paying attention or not? I've been telling fucking everybody that.
Finally found my points balance. Jesus, took me a while to find it.
There are two types of people, actually, there are three types of people in the world. The ones who go against the globalists, the ones who are not even aware that they exist, and the ones who are aware but try to understand them. I'm the understanding force. I'm more of a coexistence than Olaf destroyer person. However, I mean, when it comes to my video games, it's kind of, we will coexist, but if you, I was willing to make amends with the pirates. I was willing to make business with them, but they shot me first! So realistically, yeah.
Jingle Bell. What the fuck was that?
Jingle bells, mortar shells, VC in the grass, take a Merry Christmas. Shut up, your ass. Wait, what the fuck was what?
Something weird popped up on my screen for some reason.
That happens. Found a funny meme, but I'm not sure if I could post it.
Alright, got my supporter pack.
hold out on buying it. I don't want another fucking Diablo 4 disaster.
I mean, look, I'm going to play it regardless, even if it sucks a little bit, because it's an entertainment value thing. Same thing with Diablo. I knew it was going to suck, so I said, you know what, we're going to do one more season, and we did one more season. See, now we're sitting here at the end of the path, and the mission has been completed. You gave up.
Completed it. It's great.
Me and you have slightly different philosophy.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're at the same place, and I just have a bunch of other stuff that I did in, getting there.
I don't know. I kind of wish they had the $480 pack on Steam. I'd take the extra 50,000 points.
Yeah.
Let's get on the website.
It would put me close to 300,000 if I bought it.
I got the 160 pack Vol support or whatever.
I can't wait to fucking try it out and run around like space Jesus. Not going to be finished with that game until I fucking glow more than the stars in the sky. If there is a means by which I can acquire a lens flare shall be done. It's going to hurt everyone's eyes. People are going to look at it and be like, what the fuck is this? Bonus points if it makes a lot of noise.
In other words, you're paying money for a bunch of RGB values at the 255.
What did you say?
I said, in other words, you're paying for a bunch of RBG values on a screen to be set to 255.
Yes. Actually, a little bit differently. I go beyond that. I say I'm paying a bunch of money for whatever is going to be displayed on your screen that will make your pupils dilate in pain.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Imagine you have like your brightness turned all the way up and I appear on this fucking screen. Oh my god, is that is that a fire? Is that a sun? Is that a flashbang? No, it's Adrian!
Exactly.
It's like when you go to the eye doctor office, they're like, how much money did you spend on Diablo this month, Adrian? Like they already know.
Yeah.
Gotta give yourself a break from the white pixels.
See, don't do therapy, do fucking video games, that shit's great. See, everybody has their own thing that they spend money on. They have like therapy because they go to like a place where stuff is done to their body, you know? It's all fun and games. It's all fun. But yeah, that's how it works. We are so unequivocally back.
We are so unequivocally back, brother.
Guess what?
So funny.
What?
What are you laughing
at? Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it. What's funny?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I want to know. Shit.
Oda, guess what? Oda, guess what?
Don't answer.
Chicken butt?
Chicken shot.
That caught him off guard.
Got him. Every single time.
Guess what?
What?
Yo mama.
Mama.
Yo mama was talking about Obama.
riding on a llama.
That actually works very well. Your mama was talking about Obama riding on a llama. Hey, that actually kind of works. But it's a movie.
But yeah, I got one for you. Your mama's so fat she makes Stevenson 218 look skinny.
I didn't know that. Bro.
That's good. That's good. Elliot approves.
We need more Your Mama jokes, like the more unhinged is better. We need all of the Your Mama jokes. Give us your Mama jokes.
Your mom was so fat that when they asked her which size of blizzard she wanted, she said the one on the roof.
What the fuck?
That one is one of my favorites.
Well, my personal favorite is
Go wrong with
Your Mama's so fat that not even Hugging Face can store her weights.
It's good.
Holy shit!
I like the bicycle.
Cooking. Wait, I'm gonna post that.
Your mama's such a slut. She's like a bicycle. Everybody gets a turn.
Oh. Your mama's so fat she takes up both sides of the bed.
Your Mama's such a fucking hoe, she's rated E for everyone.
Wow. Your mama's so fat Kool-Aid sued her when she was having sex.
Jeez. Your mama's so fat she doesn't need internet. She's already worldwide.
Oh my God.
Your mom was so fat. She sat on an iPhone and it turned into an iPad.
I can just picture this iPhone just fucking struggling and shit.
Yo.
It's like, stop, get off of me.
Your mom was so fat that when I took a picture of her last Christmas, it's still printing to this day.
Oh my God.
Your mom was so fat, every time she turns around, it's her birthday.
Oh my God.
Your Mama's so stupid she put a peephole in a glass wall.
Wow.
Your Mama's so ugly she put the boogeyman out of business.
Your mom was so fat you're in a polyamorous relationship.
Wow.
Your Mama's so old she saw the Big Bang. Your Mama's so stupid she sleeps with a ruler to measure how long she slept.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. I like that.
Your Mama's so...
Your mom is so fat, so when she steps on the scale, it says, "To be continued."
Oh my God.
Your mom's so fat when she steps on the scale, it reads out my phone number.
Oh my God. Your Mama's so fat when she went swimming, a boy said, "Look, Mom, a whale."
Oh my God.
Wow.
Your mom was so fat whenever she farts, there's a new Big Bang.
That reminds me of something I once saw.
For more old school classics out there, your mom was so stupid she thought a Nickelback was a refund.
Oh my god. Your mom was so stupid she went to Burger King and asked for a Big Mac.
That's retarded.
Your mom was so ugly she walked into a haunted house and walked back out with a job application.
Oh my god. Wow.
Your mom was so stupid. She climbed over a glass wall to see what was on the other side.
Your mama so hairy she speaks Wookiee.
Your mom was so fat. When she fell, I didn't laugh, but the sidewalk cracked up.
Oh shit.
You're so ugly. You're so ugly that when your mom dropped you off at school, she was arrested for littering.
Oh wow.
Damn, violation.
Your mama's so fat when she has sex she has to give you directions.
Oh my god.
I actually made a joke like that once, but like different. I came up with something really fucked up. I was like, you know what, I can make this a religious thing. And like somebody was telling me a story of a husband complaining about her wife being so fucking fat. And like what he was explaining was absolutely hilarious. So I said, you know what? He could have just insulted her way differently. She just said, like, there's not enough staff to unpart the cheeks when I fuck you. Something like that. That was never hard.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Seriously. There's not enough meat for that ass. But like, seriously. Yo, mama,
Did you make sure you charged her for that therapy sessions?
oh my god.
Your mom was so stupid. She tried to take Snoop Dogg for a walk.
Oh my god. Your mom was so stupid she asked what number to use to call 911.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Your mom was so stupid she tried to drown a fish.
Your mom is so fat. When she sits around the house, she sits around the house.
Your mama's so fat when I take pictures of her, I have to do it on a panorama.
Now what you gotta do is you gotta get a drone in the sky and go full photogrammetry mode on that shit. Gotta take like 300 pictures around.
Your mama's so fat when your mama's so fat and old when God said, "Let there be light." He asked your mother to move out the way.
Jesus.
Your mom is so fat. Her job title is spoon and fork operator.
Oh my god. Your mama's so fat that not even Dora can explore her.
Oh my god.
Wow. That was pretty good. That was good.
Your mama's so ugly she made one direction go another direction.
Another direction.
Your mom was so fat she brought a spoon to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Your mama's so fat her belly button gets home 15 minutes before she does.
Oh my god.
That was nice.
GG.
Bob says, GG.
Your mama's so stupid she put two quarters in her ear and thought she was listening to 50 Cent.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Your mom was so fat when she got on the scale, it said, "I need your weight, not your phone number."
Wow.
Your mom was so fat when she went on a diet and caused a recession.
My God.
Oh boy.
That is wild, man.
Your
Your mom was so fat she has her own zip code.
Your mom was so fat when she went on a diet, half the farmers went bankrupt.
Your mom is so ugly, her portraits hang themselves.
Damn.
Damn.
Your mom is so dumb she thinks breaking the internet is what happens when you don't pay your phone bill.
Your mom was so fat when she went out on high heels, she struck oil.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of mama jokes.
Your mom is so fat when she walked out onto the pier, people tried to board her.
Oh my God.
Your mom was so fat when she goes camping, the bears hide their food.
I love that. That's great.
Your mom is so fat that when Dracula bit her neck, he got diabetes.
Wow.
It's like maple syrup blood.
Your mom is like the sun, big, round, and hard to look at.
Your mom is so fat when she goes to the beach, the tide waits for her to leave before coming in.
Wow.
Your mom is so fat she got pushed back into the ocean by members of Greenpeace.
Oh my God.
Your mom was so fat, it took me 2 buses and a train to get to her good side.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That must be why she didn't move around much.
Her mom was so fat when she went swimming, she caused the ocean sea levels to rise up.
Wow, now we know. This is your fault, America.
Your mom was so fat, if she buys a fur coat, a whole species will become extinct.
Oh my God.
Your mom was so stupid she heard it was chilly outside and went to grab a bowl.
Mom is so ugly when she was born, the doctor slapped your grandparents.
Oh my God.
God damn.
Your mom is so fat. Of the 5 people I know, she's 3 of them.
Oh my God.
Your
Mom was so fat. Your mom was so fat that every cow on Earth, cows would go extinct if they tried to make a boot for her.
Oh my God. Your mama's so fat China uses her to block the internet.
Wow.
Your mom was so dumb she took the COVID vaccine twice.
Oh my God.
Your mom is so fat when she talks to herself, it's the long distance call.
Oh, I got one just in that one. Your mom is so fat she wears a watch on both wrists, one for each time zone.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Yes.
Your mama is so fat she's on both sides of the family.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said that one before. I said both sides of the bed. You can't do that.
As an Alabaman, why does she have to be fat for that? It's an incest joke. Don't worry about it.
Your mama's so fat, she uses Google Earth to take her monthly progress pictures.
You gotta tell the reference joke for that one, Adrian, first. You know, what's the definition of an Alabama virgin?
What?
An ugly 13-year-old that can outrun her cousins.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Your mama so fat she bends lights.
That's like saying your mom is so fat she has her own gravitational system.
Yeah.
Gravitational force, yeah. She's so fat when I tossed her an apple and started over to her.
Your mama's so fat she did a push-up and burned her back.
Your mom is so ugly.
She went to the dentist to get a Bluetooth.
Your mama's so fat NASA has satellites orbiting her.
Your mama's so fat her shadow leaves a footprint.
Your mama's so fat Jupiter got caught in her orbit.
Your mom was so stupid, she took a ruler to bed to see how long she slept.
Yeah, I told you that one earlier. Yeah. Your mom is so ugly that she makes her blind children cry.
Blind.
Your mama's so loose, she makes a parachute look like a tight fit.
Oh my god. Oh. Your mom is so fat the FDIC declared her too big to fail.
That's really good.
Banger.
Your mama's so fat her car has stretch marks.
Your mom was so stupid when I said drinks on the house, she got a ladder.
Oh my god.
Your mama's so fat she can't even jump to a conclusion.
Your mama is so fat that she can't save files bigger than 4 gigabytes.
Oh, fat. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, partitions.
Yeah. You
I
can't.
was wondering how many people would get that.
And basically, there's a file format called FAT. You can't have any files
FAT32.
over 4 gigabytes. Yeah.
Yeah. Your mama's so stupid she moved over the wireless internet.
So Microsoft had to create this new format called exFAT to kind of fix some of the issues with FAT.
Does that mean that the former FAT was unburdened by what had been?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Are we just going to continue making your mama jokes?
Yes.
Your mom was so stupid when I told her that she lost her mind. She went looking for it.
Your mom is so ugly the neighbors break into her house to close the curtains.
What the fuck is this?
Your mom was so dumb. She got.
What is this? Hold on.
W's.
Hold on, wait a second. What the fuck is this?
The fuck is what?
I don't know who this person is. What the fuck is this person saying?
What did you send it to?
You.
This photo, I assume?
No, I signal.
No, I sent it on my Discord.
Right.
Show it to me. Let me take a look at that. Yikes. Dude, look at the one below that. Oh! Hang on.
This person doesn't even follow me. I don't even know who this person is. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm back. Where were we?
Hey, what the fuck is this person?
Your mama's so dense, neutron stars fall into her.
God damn, those spinny little things.
Uh-huh. No, that's a quasar.
Don't neutron stars spin really fast as well?
Oh yeah, no, they
Neutron stars are the same material Thor's hammer is made out of.
allegedly, yes. Forged in the heart of a dying star makes more sense though in the context of gold.
Adrian, I'm gonna reply to that.
Your mother's breasts sag with such severity that the late, great surrealist artist Salvador Dali mistook them for clocks. That's such a boomer joke, nobody else gets that, because who knows the Salvador Dali painting with the fucking clocks that melt?
Yeah, too many people are focused on duct tape and bananas these days.
Yes.
Alright. Adrian, I'm gonna reply to that post with this.
Your mom is so stupid she put airbags on her computer in case it crashed. Oh yeah, good reply, yeah. Perfect. Your mom is so fat that when she farts, Al Gore accuses her of climate change.
Nice.
Your mom is so stupid she put lipstick on her forehead to make up her mind.
Get it?
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
Guys, hold on, wait. Me.
Your mom is so fat when she gets in an elevator, it has to go down.
Your mom's so stupid she stared at a cup of orange juice for 12 hours because it said concentrate.
Instructions unclear.
Your mom is so fat that she left the house in high heels. She came back wearing flip-flops.
I just love replying to people with this. Whenever they try to like tell you how to do something, you say instructions unclear. Dick stuck in vending machine.
Oh my god. What? Your mom was so fat when she died, she broke the stairway to heaven. That's fucked up. Oh my god. Your mom is so fat, her belt loops have mile markers.
Wow.
Your mom's so fat, her belt size is equator.
Your mama so fat. Your mama so fat. Her weight is a national security secret.
No, you can say like
like a wrecking ball.
I do like this. You turn that around and you say, your mom is so fat, her weight looks like my social security number.
Oh my god. Your mom is so fat, she's better than the government.
Wild.
Your mom is so fat, the price of Bitcoin looks like nothing compared to her.
Oh, wow.
Your mom is so fat, she went on a diet and ended world hunger.
Oh my god. What else?
Your mom is so retarded, she tried to return her x-ray because she didn't like the picture.
Oh my god.
Your mom is so dumb, she told me she was on a seafood diet. She sees food and forgets what she's doing.
Your mom was so fat when she went out for Chinese food, the entire country disappeared.
Oh my god.
Your mom is so fat, she's banned from every single country.
Yeah, because she's so fat that she is every single country.
So yeah, your mom is so fat, she's a citizen of all 50 states.
Nice. That's what you call a citizen.
This entire thing should be clipped and recorded and put on sale. You can just listen to it nonstop. Memorize jokes.
We'll take the ones that got the most laughs. Just take out all the other stuff and keep the ones that got the most laughs.
Yeah.
Your mom is so fat, her cereal bowl has a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Your mom is so fat, when I shot her, it took 5 business days before it reached her stomach.
5 business days, get out of here.
Your mom is so stupid, she put a ruler on her pillow to see how long she slept.
Oh, we already had that one 3 times.
How did you?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
It's a good one, though. Wait, what the fuck was that?
I think it's Elliot.
This guy. Gotta tell me what you're doing there.
What am I doing?
Oh my god.
I'm not using the voice changer, by the way.
I never think with the rest of your mouth like this. Oh, yeah. But I can also do it differently. I can do it like this, for instance, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
That's just funny to listen to.
It's horrifying, if anything.
Well, it'd be horrifying if I was watching you do it, but just
Yeah. I said I do that in conversations sometimes. I'm just sitting there, I'm explaining things to you just like I do now. Sit there and you do well, and then all of a sudden you just let that out of you. And it changes everything. People are like, what the fuck?
Dude, if I started talking to people in real life like that, I would lose respect.
Your mom.
What do you mean?
Did you like raise your hand in class and you ask a question with like the helium? I have a question, sir.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Your mama's so fat the sun is drawn to her.
Oh. She was
Galileo had it wrong after all.
yes.
Your mama's so fat the sun orbits around her.
Jupiter's moons.
Oh my god. Your mom is so fat we use her for gravitational lensing.
Damn.
Your mom is so fat she puts black holes to shame. We need more dad jokes. I remember once at a Tesla space like that, where we came up, nobody said anything. Then one guy made a dad joke. Then I made a joke. Then somebody else made a joke. And it kept going back and forth.
By the way, there are languages where it's mostly dad jokes. Jokes about the dad, not the mom.
Wow. Mom jokes are all about insulting the mom. Is there actually any example of a mom joke?
I'm gonna send you a video, but you probably can't understand it.
What do you mean?
It's in another language.
It depends on which language it is.
I'll tell you in private later what he's saying.
I just found out I'm colorblind. The news came out of the purple.
Oh my god.
Your mama's so fat she causes the price of stocks to drop whenever she does a jumping jack.
Oh my god.
You can just hear the thuds on the ground. Boom, boom. The dust is like shaking and shit.
Imagine like school children legitimately use that against each other and take it seriously. Oh yeah, I watched it. I can't understand it, so what is it about?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Sure.
I'm gonna see if I can blend these two together here. You guys tell me if it's decent or if it's straight up shit. Your mama's so ugly, she's the reason Father's Day is celebrated with a candlelight vigil.
Oh damn.
I didn't get it.
Jess says he has a joke too.
He gone. He went the other way. Try to blend the two formats. I don't know if it landed.
It worked.
Let's see, what does Jeff have?
So are we on Yo Daddy or Yo Mama jokes? I don't know.
Either.
Any works, actually. Obama was the one we're going with at the moment.
Yo Mama's so fat she takes nudes in Panorama.
We already have the Panorama one, but damn.
They got that, all right?
No. You gotta step it up to Google Earth, man.
Google Earth.
Jesus Christ.
Your mama's so fat she walked into a 7-Eleven and she came out, it was a 610.
Yes.
It's even better when you say it in the New Yorker accent. I assume that's your New Yorker accent, isn't it?
Yeah. You're supposed to do that. Yeah, that's like my favorite one. I gotta write that down. Thanks, dude.
When did I even start here, man?
Yeah, we should maybe leave the mama jokes.
I felt like the last one is 13 minutes of all your mama jokes thrown at each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never heard so many before.
And just think, for a 99-cent premium subscription to Adrian, you can have 24/7 access to it.
Sure. Just don't spam my fucking DMs. That is not going to work. There are limitations, you see?
When will Augie get a proper mic?
That is a good question, actually. Augie, get a better mic.
It's Black Friday.
Augie's mic is like Zach's food.
He told me he's using a little cheap one, like a little cheapo one.
Well, it's probably because I'm actually standing 200 feet away from my Wi-Fi connection, more than likely.
No.
It's always that bad.
It's too fucking loud.
It has a lot more issues than just being too fucking loud.
They buy a beautiful microphone on Amazon, my precious. They buy a microphone. Yes.
What the fuck is...
Trying to be Meatwad or something.
Bro. I was trying to be Meatwad, trying to be...
What the hell kind of language was that?
Meatwad, Smeagol, and Murgles.
Oh my fucking... Oh, shit.
Adrian, did you see my exterminator joke?
Which exterminator joke?
The one so you know the cockroach farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I replied to that with the exterminator.
Yeah, the exterminator when you count the lines, yeah.
Yeah, when they go.
We need to have a group chat for people who are prominent, in spaces and all. I don't know.
Like on X or on what? Like an X group chat?
Yeah, just so it goes.
Right.
Yeah, this is this. Don't let this person up. Let that person up. This one's a fed. This one. Just kidding.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, some of those.
I have a little list that I've written down.
Some of these people.
I'll have one last your mama joke that's super risky.
Go ahead.
Your mama's so fat that when the feds sent a honeypot after her, she ate it.
Oh my god.
This is a borderline cannibals bullshit.
Pooh Bear.
Yeah, I think that's the limit. Now we can't hit it there. I do wonder about that a lot. I wonder how many honeypots are out there.
Quite a few.
Yeah. I wonder how many of them are listening to this space.
Quite a few.
I think one just shared a message out of
What?
that weird message you got. That's what that was.
Yeah. The one I replied to?
They're watching you.
Are you talking about the one I replied to?
Yep, that one.
don't even know who she is.
Yeah, that shit's a trap.
I didn't know why you replied to that. Like, I would never reply to that.
He deleted my YouTube. Oh my god.
Whenever it's something like that, I just basically lock DMs. I'm like, okay, we're not having this. 'Cause it's fucked up.
That was suddenly leaves, we know why.
That's a good point.
What happened?
Oh, I can't even. Okay, never mind.
Sometimes I feel as though there's like some sort of hidden force that stops me from doing certain things, because I've had a bunch of replies that I once wanted to send that never went out. I'm like, in hindsight, that was actually a good thing.
Yeah, it's happened to me before.
How is Yahoo doing these days?
What?
Adrian, are you washing dishes?
Yes, I was washing with that.
You okay over there, man?
Yeah. My phone just fell into the.
So that's what you kids call it these days, washing the dishes. I'm taking notes.
What the fuck? Yeah, I do wash my dishes. They're beautiful dishes. They're the cleanest dishes anyone's ever seen.
There are some accounts on this platform, and I'm genuinely impressed at how they can have the worst take possible on every single topic.
I know, right? It's almost like as if they really want to make the worst take happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And my suspicion is that that's probably exactly what's happening.
I want to believe that, but I am genuinely.
There's a lot of deluded people out there.
Yeah, there's some really, really retarded people out there.
So what you do is, instead of looking for these like one-off bangers once a month or once a week, you instead look for all these people who have terribly bad takes consistently, and then you generalize over all of those and get the opposite vector of that. And that's how you live your life.
Yeah, it's like technically makes sense. Yeah, a lot of the best stuff that I've sent is usually me roasting other people.
Look, if I had to look at this bitch's profile every day, it would drive me insane.
That's the point.
Not worth it. Not worth the bangers.
I gotta say, there's like some of those accounts out there that literally call every single political opponent that they have to their ideology a fucking Nazi. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? At this point, if you didn't know about a person's heritage, you'd call a Jewish person a Nazi. How fucking stupid you are. Like, it's unbelievable, man. Some accounts out there really are just on the other side of whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't make any sense. So shit.
Why
My personal favorite are the accounts. You go ahead.
Why is Greta Thunberg on like the list of like the most anti-Semitic people?
Wait, what?
There's this fucking company, Stop Anti-Semitism or something on X, and it's like listed like 10 people as like the most anti-Semitic people, and like one of them is Greta Thunberg.
What the fuck did she say?
I don't know. I'm just like, what? I just saw that list and I'm like, why the fuck is Greta Thunberg here? I mean, I don't like her, but why is she there?
It's a good question.
He's sharpening a knife.
Are you hearing knife sharpening sounds?
Yeah, you're scaring me a little bit.
He's about to go chop down a cherry tree.
Yeah, look at this.
Look how he goes.
2024 Anti-Semite of the Year, Hassan Piker.
Really?
Ori Bush, I have no idea who that is. John Kozak, I don't know who that is. Greta Thunberg.
What did she do, man?
I don't know. Jake Shields.
Greta Thunberg. has turned her climate activism into a platform for Jew hatred since the 710 massacre. She's joining the Kafiyeh-clad protesters, voicing disdain for the Jewish state. From chanting Crush Zionism at protests to targeting Israeli Eurovision participants. Thunberg's activism now fuels anti-Jewish hostility. Interesting. Okay.
I don't know who half these people are. I'm surprised Nick Fuentes is up on this list.
Dudes, for real, man.
Do you think Nick Fuentes is a psyop?
I don't know. All I know, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you this much. Nick Fuentes is no more than an entertainer, and I'll leave it at that for me. That's what I see it as. A lot of the stuff that you see online, especially voiced by influencers, is stuff that you shouldn't take seriously at all, and probably should even ignore a lot of the times.
Did you see when this woman showed up to his house and he wanted
Yeah, I know.
That was so funny.
Like, bro comes out, pepper sprays, takes the fucking phone, like, okay.
Going a little faster now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm almost finishing.
ASMR.
Candace, say you should get better neighbors.
Can you describe the knife that you are sharpening, AD? You've got to describe this knife.
It's a normal kitchen knife. Whoops, I accidentally my toe just stubbed something out. Anyways, it's a normal kitchen knife. It is a high carbon steel knife, as a matter of fact. It has the it's German.
Disgusting.
What do you mean, motherfucker?
You're telling me you don't use titanium?
Okay, how about this? If you can point me to a direction of where somebody sells titanium knives, I'll look into it.
I'm joking. I don't know if that's a thing.
Have you ever seen titanium Damascus steel?
No.
Steel is the way to go.
It's beautiful.
I have Damascus knives. Shoes.
Yeah, Damascus knives, they cause more problems than they actually solve. They just look cool.
I know, what's it called? I know there's like titanium cutting boards.
What? You don't want that.
Why
Use a titanium cutting board, you're going to immediately, like the first cut you make, you're going to dull your knife and you have to straighten the steel again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why don't you just fucking, like, just use a wood. Just use wood.
End grain wood cutting board is the only way to go.
That's right. You get an end grain wood, and then it doesn't dull the knife because it never hits anything that will dull it. And you can polish it endlessly, and it'll always be solid. It'll always be good. As long as it's like a couple inches thick, you can polish it like for 100 years.
What is end grain? What do you mean?
End grain means that like the wood, like if you think about like how a plank is like cut long ways, you basically stack the long ways perpendicular to the ground. So it's like the rods of wood that constitute a cutting board. Like you put a bunch of them together, and that constitutes your cutting board so that when you're looking down at it, you're seeing the end of the plank, the end of the rod of wood. So you're cutting into like the plank of wood, so that when you sand it, like you're not cutting against like the wood perpendicularly, you're cutting with it parallel to the grain of the wood, and that will never dull your knife. It's the very best thing.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Think about it this way.
The grain is set up in such a way that the grain goes in the direction of wherever I'm cutting with a knife.
That's right. Yeah, the grain basically is up and down, and then like, you know, but it's expensive to do that because somebody has to like assemble like a bunch of wood pieces together to form a butcher block. But yeah, that's like, there's nothing close to as good as that.
Yeah, just have a fucking slab of wood. Mahogany, bro. Got a big slab of wood. It's so big that I used it so much I started to get muscles by using it. It's a big bitch.
By the way, I just read that guy's getting the X tattoo because Elon beat the 150 pitch under 2 minutes, so he's like made an appointment for his tattoo. So that's pretty funny.
I told him to stream it earlier.
Did you?
He offered. He had it in like the very tail end of that thread. He's like, "Yeah, I think I might stream it." I'm like, "Yeah, you absolutely need to stream it." I'm turn notifications on and follow it, so I'm watching.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Make sure to call people out. Never have I thought I'd live in a world where Greta Thunberg would turn out to be anti-Semite. That's crazy.
Wild.
You know, I wonder if that applies to all other climate activists. It would be a very fascinating trend, to say the least. Is there a statistic for this?
Yes, it looks like actually.
Yes, it is actually a trend because, like, when you think about it, if you're against the use of fossil fuels, and that means you're against, let's say, Saudi Arabia, you're against domestic energy production in the U.S. or Russia or whatever, it kind of puts you in some respects on the other side of Israel, right? And so you're kind of like more likely to be caught up in this conspiracy that oil production itself is kind of a Zionist plot. And there actually is a lot of that. I mean, there's quite a few people that kind of dovetail those two together. Thunberg I think she was a later joiner to that because it was only after October 7th. There was quite a few people before that said, like, support for Israel is equivalent to the support of, destroying the planet, essentially, which is really stupid, but...
Right, because they're industrialists?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea, is like they're exploiting the Middle East, right? I mean, like, the idea is that Israel is like, it's kind of like equivocating Israel or, even a city in Israel with saying this is the base for Exxon, Halliburton, Chevron, Shell, BP. It's like they're all basically using Israel as a base to go and exploit the Middle East, which is, of course, bullshit. But, I mean, good luck telling that to these people. I mean, they're like, my goodness. That's essentially what they're saying.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear?
Makes very little sense.
Apparently, the Israeli Defense Forces got hacked.
Support for Israel is equivalent.
What?
Yeah, so the IDF got hacked apparently, and it leaked like the names of like a bunch of the people that were working for them.
Oh, that's what that was. Yeah, I saw somebody post some bullshit about this is the fucking stupidest thing ever. Like, how stupid do you have to be? Hey, a foreign intelligence basically got hacked. We have a bunch of leaks here. Okay, cool, let's post it out there. Are you fucking insane? I don't know, man. I don't know. I saw some people post it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And you're sharing it. Do you understand what you're doing to yourself? Fucking
You have to compete. You have to compete with Tiffany Fong somehow.
Oh.
Wow. I don't understand why everybody's like talking about that. Look, I understand that the concept that a person gets a lot of money, but as opposed to talking about how that person makes a lot of money, how about you think about how exactly you can upskill whatever it is that you are currently doing to make more money, I think about that a lot. I do experiments. I
my YouTube.
move stuff around as a means by which I can, create changes in places. But
Do you know how she first got
Clubhouse, I got
yes,
Clubhouse
she got
bread.
scammed.
got
No, before that.
pissed today. Clubhouse got pissed today.
So basically, she was friends with Sam Bankman-Fried, and she was like one of the people that she one of the only people that could get interviews from him. That wasn't like traditional media. And then when Sam Bankman-Fried basically, FTX crashed, she was like the only person that could reach it.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's how she got. That's how she got famous.
That explains the boyfriend meetings. Okay.
So she got famous off of Sam Bankman-Fried, and then she lost her money in Celsius because Celsius was really badly run. And what was the other platform that went bankrupt? And then there was like another platform that. No. The one where people could store their money. It was like a Celsius competitor. FTX came in and said, "We're going to save them." You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember.
Right before FTX went bankrupt, there was like another BlockFi, I think, right?
Right.